What is up, YouTube? HBJ here, and I got some exciting news for you all on the Traptrix structure deck that's coming out in the OCG in December, and we will get this structure deck as of the early spring of next year. Because they did make an announcement in the TCG that we'll be receiving this next year. I don't have a specific date, but they did say early spring, so most likely maybe late February, early March, sometime around then. But the Traptrix monsters are finally getting their structure deck. If you guys actually don't know about this, a couple of weeks ago they announced that the Traptrix are going to get their own structure deck. It's going to be called Force of the Traptrix. Is going to feature new support for the Traptrix as well as new trap hole normal trap cards that will follow up the amazing tactics of the Traptrix. If you guys don't know exactly what's going on, the Traptrix monsters are a series of insect and plant-type monsters whose attack and defense total 2,800, with the exception of their link monsters, who unfortunately don't have any defense because the link monsters have no defense to start. They were introduced in Judgment of Light, and since Judgment of Light, the Traptrix monsters have had a massive impact on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, as they're the only monsters in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series to actually have direct impact with the trap hole normal trap cards. It was also funny enough that there were some cards that got reprinted to where their names had to be changed, because in the OCG cards names, the trap hole trap cards are called Pitfall. And there are a ton of cards that interact with these are the monsters that interact with these cards. Funny enough, they don't have any spells to interact with them, but they use spells and traps that are insect and plant related to take advantage of the situation and benefit from it. Right now we have these lovely ladies in their trap holes being basically reprinted and redistributed and getting some new support as well. Fun fact, the Traptrix monsters were actually part of the 2019 structured deck voting poll, in which they topped 10, but they did not win overall. I believe Ice Barriers, then I think it was Cyber Style, Ice Barrier, and something else that topped 5. And then it was Shadal that won it overall. And then next year, Shadal got the structure deck. And I believe at the end of the year, Shadal came out in the OCG, and the TCG got it the next year out. Got it in 2020. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here to unravel with the Traptrix. And I know I just spent 3 minutes talking about them, but it's perfectly fine because this whole video is dedicated to the Traptrix. So the first thing up is, of course, the box art. This is the box art for the Traptrix, for the Traptrix monsters. Sorry if it's a little disoriented, just because of how I have things organized here. But I will have a better picture of it, because well, there'll be a better picture of it soon anyway, but I'm going to be using the new monster that's on the cover of this as one of the monsters to show off for the image here on the video. So, let's start to take off on the new card. The first one up is Traptrix Pingikula. I know I'm pronouncing this wrong, so I apologize, but Pingikula, rank 4 Earth Attribute Plant Type Exceed Monster with 2500 attack and 300 defense. She requires 2 level 4 monsters, and her effect reads you can only use her second and third effect once per turn each. Her first effect is that while she has material, she is unaffected by the effects of trap cards, as well as any monster who shares the same type as any of the monsters uses her material. Once a turn, you can detach one material from this card to add one Traptrix monster from your deck to your hand. If a monster or monsters that is owned by your opponent are sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect, you can attach one of them to this card as material. The name herself, Pingula, is the scientific word for Butterworth, a carnivorous plant that uses a sticky glandular leaves to lure. A sticky substance known as the glandular uses their sticky glandular leaves, cause words, to lure, trap, and digest insects. So it's a plant that eats bugs. All right. Next up is Traptrix Arachnocompa. This is a level 4 Earth Attribute insect type monster with 1300 attack and 1500 defense. You only use this card's first effect once per turn each. During your main phase, if you control a Traptrix monster, quick effect, you can summon this card from your hand. Also, you can also summon monsters from your deck for the rest of the turn, except for insect and plant monsters. The second effect of this card is, of course, the universal effect of all the trap tricks in the main deck. They're unaffected by the effects of whole normal traps. The other effect that she has, is the first time set card in your shadow check card will be destroyed by a card effect each turn. They are not. This monster's name of Arachnocompa is based off of the fungus gnat that in its larval state will dwell in caves and grottos in the Oceania. They use their silk threads to make nets, and then they trap their prey in them. Next up is Delusional Trap Hole. I'm sorry, Delusion Trap Hole. Normal trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's effect once per turn. If your opponent summons a monster this turn, target one monster they control with 2,000 or more attack, destroy it. Then if you have a whole normal trap card in your graveyard, you can banish one monster from your opponent's graveyard. This card's image has the image of Traptrix Mantris in its image, as well as the insect monster Mantris. While you have one of the goblins who's associated with the trap hole cards in the trap hole, because I believe he has fallen into one of the traps that the Traptrix have laid. Next up is the other cover monster for the structure deck. This is Traptrix Antipus. She's a Link 3 attribute insect type monster with 1800 attack. Her arrows point bottom, center, left, middle, and left, right. Her effects reads: this Link summon monster is unaffected by trap effects. Traptrix monsters you control gain 1000 attack while you have a normal trap in your graveyard. And her last effect is once per turn, you can target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of insect and plant monsters you control. Negate their effects until the end of this turn. Then you can banish one normal trap from your graveyard, and if you do, destroy one of the targeted face-up cards. This monster's name of Empress is the genus of technological tarantulas known as the purse-webbed spider, most commonly seen in Eurasia. Oh, that makes sense. I do remember reading up on the purse-webbed spider. Basically, what they do is they make a webbing that looks similar to like a purse, a little hole in it, and that's how they lure in their prey. To make it look like a flower in the shape of a flower, and then they spring out and capture their prey. Here it looks like she is just being used as a bit of a lure, and then the insects under her are going to snatch the prey and kill and eat them. Alright, with that said, the reprints for the structure deck are Traptrix Atrix, Traptrix Murmillo, Traptrix Nevites, Traptrix Dianea, Lone Fire Blossom, Bottomless Trap Hole, Void Trap Hole, Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare, Floodgate Trap Hole, Traptrix, Netaria Sacred Tree, and Traptrix Rafflesia. All of these cards are going to be reprinted and added into the structure deck. I'm not surprised if we'll see some other other associating trap holes and stuff. I want to see this archetype get some spell cards, and let's see them make spell cards for the traps, sort of trap hole trap cards in the game. That's going to be bananas. And oh my god, that's gonna be crazy. But just looking off of the sense of the newer cards that are being positioned, this is gonna be a beast because she's gonna be basically a way to get rid of like monsters. She also is gonna be probably a big beat stick as well because she's gonna fit the mold now. That her effect will make her attack become 2800, which is something that associates with all the Traptrix monsters in the main deck, or just in general with most of the Traptrix that aren't links, because I believe there's I think there's 3 link monsters. I want to say 2 or 3 link monsters for Traptrix. There's 3 or 4 including the new one. There's 3 or 4 exceed monsters, and then the rest of them are all main deck monsters, and they all use the trap pull trap cards to deal with their opponent. Like, and trust me, there are a ton of trap pull trap cards that can easily be used with this deck. Gravedigger's trap pull, trap pull, bottomless trap pull, adhesive trap pull with spikes, what was it, void trap pull, giant trap pull, Gemini trap pull. I believe there's a pendulum trap pull, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they made sure like every version of trap pull can easily be accessed and used with the Traptrix archetype. And I have to honestly say, a lot of this is awesome. I do like the designs. I love the artwork of the structure deck, and I think this is going to be a big hit in both the OCG and TCG. So I think it will be a competitive deck, probably not. But I do think it's going to be a very fun deck for people to play. Maybe, hey, maybe it might top. You may never know. Don't ever knock a structure deck down. Because there have been some structure decks that have topped. I don't include Shadal because Shadal was already established before they got the structure deck. The structure deck just added more cards. But if you look at stuff like Monarch, or you look at what was it? Salamangreat, all of those did really well and they were structure deck in case. I do have to honestly say it Shadal, well, if you look at Monarch, Monarch had 2 structure decks. Even though the first one for the TCG was technically a dimensional base structure deck, Caius the Shadow Monarch was still their boss monster, so even then, that's still considered a structure deck. And to my eyes, I feel like that was a bit of a ripoff. But hey, it is what it is. I honestly, like I said, don't ever knock people who play the 3 structure deck setup for a deck and can get away with it, because that means they just have ways of playing amazing things. So, my final thoughts on it is I can't wait to see what more stuff is. Like I said, I'm hoping for some spells so we can see exactly how beast of a deck this is, and I want to see what more reprints they're gonna add to the structure deck. They'll probably add some stuff like Vengeful Swamp, maybe Insect Imitation, and a couple of other things like that. Heck, maybe we'll see Gigaplant running around the camp, and they'll probably have Gigavice to survive. Because remember, Gigaplant and Blazing Butterfly, I believe, interact with both plant and insect type monsters. So, could be some things there. So, let me know what you guys think about the structure deck in the comment section below. And do you guys, what reprints you like to see in terms of the Traptrix, as well as the whole normal trap cards and additions like that? So with that said, thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, as it helps out tremendously. You can also hit the notification bell so you guys can be informed of when I do upload more content to the channel. And social media links are in the description box below, so if you guys want to interact with me on social, you are more than welcome to. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time. HGJ, signing out. Take care.